want to start with the most obvious question, which is, what do you mean when you say addicted to drama? What does that even mean?
It's the unnecessary turmoil. It's the exaggeration. It's the performative aspect of the use of the dysregulated use of energy, action, emotion in the dysfunctional way of adaptation. Like,
okay, those were a lot of big words.
those were a lot of big words. We can break them down.
But the most important word that I just heard
yeah.
was unnecessary.
Yeah. The unnecessary turmoil. The unnecessary exaggeration and intensification.
Love that. Here's what I just got from that definition.
Yeah.
I think this is super easy to spot in other people.
Yeah.
It's the person who's like the bull in the china shop and everything's about them and they're very blustery.
Yeah.
But you just included me in the definition when you said unnecessary turmoil.
Yeah.
And I never considered myself to be a person who is addicted to drama, but I can see and admit that there are many areas and examples in my life where I create unnecessary turmoil for myself. And so for the person listening, can you just go even deeper?
Yeah.
Dr. Scott, could you walk us through some of the questions that you might ask somebody?
Yeah.
To help them realize, wow, I am addicted to drama in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the questions you can ask is, do you use language like extremely, literally, always, very, really, never, that sort of extreme language? Do you feel anxious or bored when things are calm? I know I'm raising my hand.
Used to.
Used to, yeah, same. Do you end up gossiping and stirring things up? No, never. Gossiping is so interesting because it makes us feel included, but at a cost.
Right. And the thing to remember about gossiping is if people do it with you, they
doing
always do it about you.
Exactly. You crave extreme situations and sensations. So that might be big feelings. It might be big actions like, like jumping out of an airplane and
or partying every night or lots of hookups or
Absolutely. You pull people into your crisis.
This is the victim form of drama.
This is the victim, but it's also what we call drama bonding. So it's a way of feeling connection. So it's like, hey, Mel, oh my God, you're not going to believe who I saw in the lobby. He gave me this weird look. And all of a sudden you're saying, oh, tell me more. And then I'm pulling you in. I'm pulling you into my vortex. So you're like an inclusive...
dramatic person.
If you find yourself generalizing one bad situation and making it universal. So it's that like, someone cut me off on the road today and what a terrible day it is.
Or
like
everybody that I've met is a loser. I'm not dating. What's up with men? I can't handle this anymore. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Have you said those lines before?
No.
Oh, okay.
I hear a lot of my friends say them though.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, ooh. Yeah. The catchphrase, it's always something.
Always something.
It's always something. And I have other friends who I'm like, it's always something. And I go, what's always something?
And then she'd just look at you and be like, you always have something.
That is true. Yeah. You feel more alive under pressure. So like waiting to the deadline to get things done. You're preoccupied with fixing things. You play out a scenario or interaction over and over again in your head, even changing the storyline a little bit at each time, and then possibly venting it to your friends as well. Mm-hmm. So if you find yourself retelling the same story more than twice, I would ask you, what about it haven't you processed yet? Why do you need to retell it? Because basically you're just spreading the drama.
It's sort of like the person that talks about the breakup and then how the person has moved on and they've been doing it for months and months and months. And by talking about it and being dramatic about it and stirring it up, they keep it at the surface, but they don't drop into the deeper feelings of loneliness and inferiority and abandonment and fear.
Yes. And replaying it keeps you out of being in contact with those vulnerable feelings.
What are some of the signs that you might feel internally?
And it's important, again, to recognize how we view someone addicted to drama on the outside is different than how people feel on the inside.
Okay.
So from the inside, you might say things, I don't feel like I can direct my own reality. I don't have control. And my internal world has a lot of pain and wounding in it. And from the outside, someone might be like, it feels like everything they're doing is being controlled, manipulated, and measured. You know? On the inside, it's intense. There's an intensity, there's a sensation that you're always kind of uneased and about to erupt, and that everything is urgent. Like everything is an emergency, because that's how we're viewing it from the inside. And from the outside, it feels like they're bulldozing, overpowering, and like this frenetic energy that just can't be contained.
This topic, addicted to drama, is so critical, is because without understanding where you or other people that you care about are addicted to this cycle of drama in their life, you will never experience peace and happiness.
Yeah, it doesn't allow you to, because peace, stillness, ease is unsafe.
What do you mean?
For those of us who have some propensity or have some addiction to drama, which is quite a few of us, getting to that point of stillness, ease, actually feels terrifying. It feels like death, or we notice it in the reflex of our mind. Okay. So if you've ever gone to a meditation class or been in a bath or just walking through a garden, so you're in this peaceful place. The environment is right to find more ease and stillness. Right. And yet there's this moment where you drop down and then something happens, like an alarm goes off. We call that a revving reflex. And you start thinking about the next day at work. Yes. You start thinking about that ex. You start getting on your phone. You start looking at people, your ex, whomever on the phone. You start doing things that interrupt that ease and that stillness. Yeah. Why? Why, when we're sad, do we go play even sadder music? Why are we rushing down the street when we have nowhere to go? Why? Well, part of it's this addiction to drama, this constant sense of dis-ease and urgency that is within us. And that revving reflex helps us stay out of contact with the vulnerability of what hasn't been processed. Okay, I'm having a huge light bulb moment. Oh, tell me about it. Because, Dr. Scott, when I think about being addicted to drama, I hear that phrase. Yeah. And I think about external things, right? Yeah. When I heard addicted to drama, and I hear that phrase, I think about someone who on the surface is flipping out or annoying as hell. Yeah. Yeah. Or narcissistic, or controlling, or whatever. That's not actually what you're talking about. That's one aspect of it. Here's what I'm getting. Yeah. That an addiction to drama is a way to identify and label childhood trauma, the effect of growing up in a chaotic household, the effect of having sustained emotional abuse or sexual or physical abuse, or simply having this experience in your body where you feel on edge all the time. Yeah. And I've heard a lot of people in my work and in the research that we do talk about the fact that, I grew up with experiences where I felt like, when is the other shoe going to drop? Yeah. When is dad going to come home drunk? Yeah. When is, there going to be another shooting on my block? Yeah. When are we going to run out of money? And that you called it, what did you call it? A revving? A revving reflex. A revving reflex. That another way to think about this sense in your life that you have to always be ready for the next thing. Yes. That is the revving reflex going all the time, it sounds like. Absolutely. It's the anticipation, the readiness for the next bad thing, for the next trauma. We trace the drama to avoid our traumas. Okay, let's unpack that, because you're basically saying, whether you are the annoying person in your friend group, in your family, where it's all about you all the time, you can't help it, you're even sick of your own stuff. Yeah. Or you're the person who is sitting quietly in the corner. Yeah. With no external evidence that there is drama. Yeah. But you are so in your head
and so either anxiety ridden or on edge or just bracing all the time that the drama is actually internal.
Yeah, that internal revving.
Got it. Oh, wow. You and I are digging into the fascinating science, research, and psychology of drama.
Do you use language like extremely, literally, always, very, really, never? Do you feel anxious or bored when things are calm? Do you end up gossiping and stirring things up?